Welcome everyone. My name is Albert Voyon, and I have been in the emergency response / safety department for over 14 years, working in the oil refiners and chemical plants. In that time, I've seen many of accidents take place that cause some serious injuries. I've also seen many of accidents that were prevented by using the proper safety tools given to us and following the proper safety procedures. I would like to ask each one of you, or attempt to persuade each one of you, to follow some simple guidelines when doing some tasks around the home. How many of you cut grass or use ladders to hang Christmas lights? How many of you use a self-clean feature on your oven or pressure wash your driveway? Do the dangers of each one of these seem unsafe, or do they seem harmless? Each one of these have certain inherent dangers that are largely overlooked. In my industry, we have safety procedures and policies that help minimize our exposure to these things. At home, though, we are free from these policies. We don't see them as being safe, we see them as being burdensome. Earplugs and safety glasses. They're not always comfortable, and they're not always readily available when we are at home. So we bypass them. We're using a string trimmer. The rock flies up, hits us in the face, and we become either temporarily blinded until we clean the debris out, or we become permanently blinded or visually impaired due to not wearing a simple pair of safety glasses. It seems like a small effort to go to prevent such a large injury. Flip-flops are not always the best choice of footwear while weed eating, but during the summer months, short pants and flip-flops are the choice. While we're using a string trimmer, we could slice our toe, throw dirt or grass inside of that open wound, and cause a serious infection, and now we have a situation we have to go to the emergency room for. Ladder use at work is heavily guarded and heavily watched. Ladders are a very dangerous tool if used incorrectly. We tie ourselves off at work to prevent us from falling. We tie the ladder off to prevent it from falling. We use ropes to haul equipment up a ladder. We don't carry things on our hands. We don't use the top step of the ladder. At home, we don't need all of that stuff. We can mind our own affairs. We can tend to ourselves because we know how to be safe at home. Because falling at home is different than falling at work. Recently, I was hanging Christmas lights at home. I bought a new ladder, climbed to the top of the ladder, and realized this is too high up for my comfort level, and I immediately started thinking, what happens if I do fall? Could I be paralyzed? Could I die? Would I be able to walk my daughter down the aisle if I became injured? Was that task that important that I had to complete it and feel uncomfortable by doing so? Or could I take a step back, implement some safety into it, some safety thoughts, some safety tools in place to prevent those things from happening? There are over 90,000 people per year that go to the emergency room because of ladder-related injuries. Of those injuries, 32% of them are fractures. There are worse things than a fracture. There are other things that could take place. All of the accidents are 100% preventable with very small steps added to our task. In my Christmas lights, I opted to rent a man lift because of the environment I was in. I could not tie the ladder off. I didn't have anything I could tie myself off to fall. I had to rent a man lift because of the height of the home. That prevented me from falling, but I still accomplished the task. Do you think of the importance of closed-toe shoes when using a pressure washer at home? Most times we're going to use it during the summer. We're going to have swim shorts. We're going to have flip-flops on, or sandals. If we pass that pressure washer wand across our foot, we have a large possibility of creating a large laceration on our feet. A small laceration could put you in the hospital, or it could put you in physical therapy for months on end, trying to recover from a small injury. There are over 6,000 people per year that go to the hospital or emergency room due to pressure washer related injuries. How often did you use a self-clean feature on your oven? Did you read the owner's manual before you did it, or did you just wing it? A lot of things are done by winging it, and those fall prey to injury. This is a feature on your oven. I have seen it work in emergency response. I have seen it many times. People wing it with this safe self-clean feature, and they burn their homes down. They cause injury to themselves. Trying to open the oven, they burn their hands. The self-clean feature is not meant to clean off years of buildup of dirt inside your oven. It's meant to clean up on a routine basis. Use it often, but don't use it when you have a large amount of grease buildup inside your oven. What takes place when I'm using that feature? What happens? You're superheating the inside of the oven to burn everything to a crisp, that way you can clean in there and clean it up with a wet cloth. Also realize there's a lot of carbon monoxide giving off when that is taking place. There's a lot of heat buildup. Make sure you ventilate your home. Open the windows. Clean off everything off of the stove. Watch it. Do not go to sleep with the self-clean oven operating. Should I use baking soda, or should I use flour if the flames were to come outside of the oven door? Flour is not a good choice. Baking soda is the choice that you want to go to. Flour will flame that fire. Baking soda will suffocate the fire. What does all of this mean? Why are we bringing this up? What do I want each one of you to do? I want each one of you to not take the easy way. Don't take the cool way. Take the safe way. Think about the task and think about what could happen. Each task has a certain way we do it. Think beyond that. Think of what could happen if we don't follow certain precautions. Think about how many persons' lives are affected by the actions that you take, that you choose to take. There are a lot of what ifs that take place while you're laying in a hospital bed. There are a lot of, if I would have done this, if I would have done that, then it's too late. It's already taken place. Take a small amount of effort. It goes a very long way in preventing accidents. I ask each one of you to not become a negative statistic. Be part of the statistics that show safety prevention helps prevent injuries. Safety works. Small amounts of safety. It doesn't take much effort. I thank you for your attention. I hope you have a blessed day.